Hey, what's up everybody, it's Purpose Driven Life Sports and I'm back here for another video. So in this NBA video, I'm going to be talking about tonight's matchups between the Toronto Raptors and the Philadelphia 76ers. This game is in Toronto. Actually, this game's going on right now. Philadelphia is down. Last time I checked, it was 78-64. So when I first talked about this matchup, what I really talked about was the individual matchups between players, right? And what I said is that there's interesting ways you can do this, and one reason why I picked Toronto in 5 was because I think they have a deeper bench, and I think their matchups, they can play very well matchup-wise against Philadelphia. So one thing I thought was you could do Kawhi Leonard on Ben Simmons, you could do Kyle Lowry on JJ Redick. Yes, you could do Kyle Lowry on JJ Redick. That'd be a very good matchup because JJ Redick likes to run around screens. Well, Kyle Lowry can get around those screens to me better than a guy like Danny Green would. Danny Green can match up against the guy in Jimmy Butler. He can match up very well because they're not really the same height, but size-wise and speed, I think lateral quickness, Danny Green can kind of keep it with the guy in Jimmy Butler. And then you got Pascal Siakam, their power forward, who can keep up with the guy in Tobias Harris. Even size-wise, he can actually make him work on the defensive end. And then you got Marc Gasol, who's 7'1", who can match up very well with the 7'2" Joel Embiid. So, to me, these matchups, even though it's weird how you would have to do it, it does favor the Raptors to me. And that's why I think as they keep these, as the matchups like this go, you can also have your bench come in. And because they have a deeper bench where they can actually go 10 deep, the 76ers only go 7 to 8 deep. So you're playing mostly, you're playing 3 starters, pretty much the whole game. So you can tend to tire out even though you're rotating those guys in and out. Like I said, the Raptors are up 78-64. So tomorrow when I do the analysis, I'm going to talk to you guys about what else I saw. And even in the points, I saw that Pascal Siakam got off to a great start. He had 19 points. I also read that him and Kawhi Leonard had 17 points in their 39-point first quarter. So their offense is already off to a good start. Philadelphia is one of the best defensive teams, so being able to get off to a good start to me is great for them, for the Toronto Raptors, So this is actually a very good matchup. I kind of like this. Like I said, I am predicting the Raptors to win in 5, because once again, bench depth, that's going to work out in Toronto's favor. To me, they're a better shooting team than Philadelphia is because they have more shooters. Kawhi Leonard's a great shooter. Kyle Lowry is a guy he's a good shooter. Now, he does get streaky, but he's a good shooter. Danny Green is an excellent corner shooter. He's a great three-point shooter. Marc Gasol can actually step back behind the arc and hit a 3. You got Pascal Siakam, who's improved so much that he's probably going to be the most improved player. He's a great three-point shooter himself. So this team, all across the board, has a great amount of three-point shooters. They got guys off the bench. Fred VanVleet. You have, what else have they got? They got so many guys off the bench. So, as great as this series is probably going to be, because matchup-wise and physically, this is going to be a physical series to me, I'm going to give the complete edge really to Toronto. I don't see any hiccups until I think either game 3 or 4, Philadelphia might, take one out of Toronto. But to me, Toronto can win in either 4 or 5. So I'm not trying to disrespect Philadelphia. I'm just saying that their lack of bench depth, because you went out to go get a starting 5 like they have, that's going to cut into your bench, and all the players that you had come off the bench, now you don't have. They had Landry Shamet, who played in the Clippers series last night against the Warriors, who I'm going to talk about in the next video. If they had him still, even though they don't have that, they wouldn't have the starting lineup that they have because they had to go get Tobias Harris. That'd still be very serviceable coming off the bench because he's such a great three-point shooter and he's improving defensively because he's a scrappy guy. He plays hard. So just those things to me are one reason why I wouldn't really pick Philadelphia in the series. So, and on to the next matchup. This is Game 7 between the San Antonio Spurs on the road against the Denver Nuggets. So what we've seen through the series is that bench play, three-point shooting is really a big deciding factor. In the games that Denver won, they shot better, and another factor was that Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic worked so well together in those dribble handoffs, the screen and roll game. Nikola Jokic had 40, I think he had 43 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. So him working like he has, that's good for them in the long run. You got Jamal Murray, who had a bad shooting game. I don't think that's going to carry over into this next game. I think I'm picking Denver to win just because of their youth. Even though San Antonio is not as old, they're more experienced than old. I'm just picking, I think, the home court advantage, and just, to me, every game that they've just built momentum, and their bench has played really well, even though, except for the last game, I would say that their bench hasn't played well, but up until Game 6, their bench has played extremely well, which has helped their starters. So I'm going to pick their bench to play well. I think they'll get back to shooting the three ball well. Their defense has improved in every game this series as well, to me. So I think that's going to bode well for the Denver Nuggets. So picking the Denver Nuggets to win this game. I think it's going to be a hard-fought contest. There's not a lot of blowouts in the playoffs this year, which is great because you got a lot of teams that are evenly matched, even though you know who the better team is, but evenly matched teams in terms of effort, to me, is playing a big part in how games are going. So even though teams aren't as talented as the teams that you think are better, they're playing harder in more spurts, and you're seeing that in games now. So, but thank you guys for listening to this video. This was my take on the Raptors and 76ers series, which I'm picking the Raptors in 4 or 5. And then you got my take on the Spurs and Nuggets, which I'm picking the Nuggets in Game 7 tonight. I'm picking them in a close game. But thank you guys for listening to this video, and I'll be talking to you guys again in the next video.